Hello, and welcome to the Designing with Love podcast. I am your host, Jackie Pellegrin, where my goal is to bring you information, tips, and tricks as an instructional designer. Hello, GCU students, alumni, and educators. Welcome to episode 33 of the Designing with Love podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Naveen Krishnan, an expert in the information technology field at Microsoft. Welcome, Naveen.
Hey, Jackie. Nice meeting you and your team of podcasts. And very glad to see you all and your audience, and looking forward to see what you have for me.
Great. Thank you. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe personally and professionally?
Sure, definitely. So I started my career 15, 16 years back, and I started back in India, and I worked for I completed my engineering in electronics and communication, and then I went into a 1-year rigorous course learning all IT systems and programming skills and things like that. So after getting that knowledge, I joined a small startup company back in India, and I worked there for a year. We were developing some HR systems, and then I moved on to a product-based company. So that's an account payable process. So I stayed there for around 2-3 years, maybe. And after that, I joined a consulting firm where my customers are UK-based. I work for Ricoh, and I work for PepsiCo. And then I work for JPMC, Capital One, Morgan Stanley, and Elanco, so many other customers. So that's what my journey with that consulting company. I stayed there for around 9 years, and then in between I moved to US at 2015. And since 2015, I landed in Dallas, Texas, and I'm here still. So, and I joined Microsoft in 2021 maybe, and I'm here for the last 3 years now. And I do a lot of. I joined as a cloud architect, and then I got myself interested into AI, and now I'm here as a solutions architect specialized in AI space.
Wow, that's great. You've had quite a journey, and now you've been here in the United States for 10 years. So that's exciting. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And so you've been at Microsoft 3 years. Wow, that's great. So you're really seeing AI take off and things like that. So how did you become interested? Did this position at Microsoft just kind of, did it land on your lap in a sense, or were you looking, or how did that come about?
No. So my initial days, so when I was with the consulting firm, I worked for several customers, and then we did a lot of cloud migration related work, and so that helped me get into Microsoft. And the main reason is I was at the Center of Excellence there, and the Center of Excellence team, and I managed complete Azure. And I was the first one to get certified as a cloud solutions architect at my consulting company. Customer sizes are like very huge. At some point, we design migration of 800 apps, and we design migrations, or we re-architect, refactor. I worked on all 3 or 4 R's, basically restructuring, re-architecting, refactoring, and things like that. So these things helped me get through Microsoft very quick, and so that was not easy. A lot of preparation behind the scenes, and slowly I landed here. And after getting into this role, I still continued to be as a cloud engineer. And after a year or two, maybe, I got myself into AI. That's when AI emerged, and I won't say AI emerged, but that's when the generative AI stuff came out, and then AI became a talk, and I started learning a lot of things around AI. I went back, and then I did a lot of courses around machine learning and deep learning and whatnot, right? So, and I got myself into data as well. So in parallel, I worked on data as well as AI. So that made me very easy to land here safe. And so for last 1 year, I'm into AI completely. So designing AI applications, helping AI to build AI solutions, identifying AI use cases, and whatnot, right? So everything about AI. I'm doing a lot writing research papers on AI, and then I write my own blogs, technical blogs on AI, completely AI, and then I do AI podcast. Yeah, almost I think I'm covering everything.
So you're immersed in the AI technology, generative AI, and all of that, and the chatbots and how that can help in different industries. Because as I read your profile, I was like, wow, this is amazing. So that's so cool. So what's one of the most exciting projects you've worked on at Microsoft where you've utilized AI technology to create personalized learning experiences, maybe for students or for even learners in general?
Yeah, sure. So I can talk in general, basically. So there is one another good example which my colleague in UK is working on. So maybe I'll talk about that. So that will be more interesting. So, for example, what they are doing is they are using agents, AI agents, basically to completely monitor their cloud infrastructure. So, for example, as we work on IT systems, right? So these systems are meant to run 24/7. So there is no rest for my apps or my data or whatever it is, right? So there are prone to issues. So sometimes you see issues at midnight, and sometimes your application crashes or your database goes down or things like that. So you have to get into a call. First, you have to troubleshoot where the problem is, and then try to work on fixing those things. So that takes several hours, basically, and there is no proactive approach yet. So with this help of AI agent implementation, they are automating these end-to-end systems. So agents can identify proactively based on the previous knowledge or data, whatever it has got. So it identifies the problem and proactively it senses it, and then it tries to remediate by itself with all the list of instructions what you have provided and the level of control what it can do, basically. And so once it fixes, it keeps human in loop. So it will just alert someone like there is something happened, and then we fixed it. And if it couldn't, then it will give you the list of steps what you can perform, which agent doesn't have control to, and then pick you up in the night, and then it will just consult with you whether should I take this recommendation and what are the plus and minus if I do this. And so if you just agree, and it's going to perform this task for you. So that's the level of automation with agents, what they are planning on. It's a very interesting solution. It may be very simple use case, but if this gets succeeded in one enterprise, then several of those enterprises may even follow this same thing, right? So this is one interesting use case what I recently get from my friend. And apart from that, you can use AI in any of these wherever you can. First, you can think of increasing the customer experience, maybe. So, for example, I call my cell phone provider, and there is a network provider. My internet is down, and I call them, and I have to wait for like around 30 minutes to get a technician on my call, because the technician is working on the things that are like a Q&A type of questions, right? For example, they are loaded with 300 calls at a time, and there are only 80 technicians out there, and out of 300 calls, maybe 200 are just FAQs. So you can just repeat based on the knowledge base. So those types of things, heavy lifting, can be handled by AI, so that other problems which are really valid, so that can be put into a technician directly. So these types of things where you can start with, basically, we call it as a AI bot or a chat bot or anything like that, where you can chat with AI and then see if this is an existing problem or a known solution, then AI can fix it for you. And if not, it will escalate it to a next level. So you can start there. And with agents, you have automated tasks. So it can automate your task, basically. So day-to-day task, for example, I come in and then I read my emails, and I kind of figure out how my day is going to be, and then I do a lot of analysis on my meetings and what to talk and what not. So those types of preparations, AI can help you. And apart from that, it can help write your emails. And if you have Office 365, all your Office 365 is now embedded with Copilot, and if you have those capabilities, then it can draft your emails as well. So you don't have to spend an hour to draft those notes. So these are the capabilities or what I am seeing. And if you're a hardcore developer, you can make use of GitHub Copilot. So
Mm-hmm.
at least in a IT day-to-day work, in 30 to 40% of my work is now closely with AI. So basically, anything with this 34, 40% of my work, AI is my assistant. So that is sitting next to me, and then it is assisting for framing emails. If I miss a meeting, it gets my summarization and whatnot, right? So it's going to evolve soon, and then close to 70-80% of your day on what you do, AI is going to be your assistant for those tasks. So this is what I see basically. Maybe it's a lengthy answer, but I think I covered all the pieces of it.
Yeah, that's great. So you're really seeing that AI is becoming that assistant and coming alongside people, right? So that they can take those, as some people call them, mundane tasks, those everyday tasks like writing an email, and making it to where it's simpler, and there can be those automated tasks, right? That AI can do. So I love that. I like that idea too of the chat bot. And I've interacted with some chat bots on some websites where it'll help you to see, okay, is this something that's more general that the AI chatbot can help you solve? And then, like you said, if it is something more complicated, then it can go to a live agent, and they can help them with it. So it helps to eliminate that a lot of that busy work for them, probably, so that they don't have to take calls that they don't necessarily need to take, and then it frees up some of that time as well. Wow, that's amazing. I love that. Yeah, because I used to work in a couple call centers before. I worked at Discover Card, which is part of Morgan Stanley, and I worked in a call center there in the early 2000s. And then that was when we were migrating computer systems. So I just think of, wow, if AI was around then, it would have been amazing to have all of that. And then I also worked for Vanguard, which is a financial institution. So with the so it would have been pretty amazing to have all of that instead of having all these calls come in of general questions where they could have gone to the website, right, and found that information. So that's great. Wow. So you're really seeing the future of AI is it's really expanding, and that's amazing. Wow, that's wonderful. So it sounds like you're even in a leadership role and what you do too, because you're helping to lead these projects. And so are there different types of styles and skills that you find helpful in your daily work there at Microsoft that you think are really helpful, especially in this type of work you do?
Yeah, so usually I don't follow something standard or a specific style, but what I do is I kind of take every opportunity and see how we can be better or good at it, right? So every chance what you get is a learning. So and I always have this mindset of what I know is just 1%, and what I don't know is 99%. So always keeps you learning. And I don't think that I know everything. So I still don't know anything. So I'll keep on hunting, and then spend most of my time learning and helping others who are learning, basically. So writing some technical blogs, and in fact, I'm writing a book on AI. So it is just covers everything, basically. So who is just from a different field and then wanted to jump into this and wanted to know more about AI and how it evolved, and what is machine learning, what is deep learning, and what is neural networks, and what is this, right? So it kind of covers everything, and what is agents, and what is a multi-agent system, and how do you design that. So it covers end to end. So that book is around, it's getting, the publisher is actively working on it. So once it is out, maybe, so that's, that will help you land anywhere. So that I took that opportunity, and after I wrote around 35-40 blogs, and then I kind of thought, okay, what's next? So then I jumped into it, and then I started writing my own book. So
wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, this is of making every opportunity as as for you to grow and evolve. So that's what I do.
Yeah,
And
so it's like a
ahead.
continuous learning culture, right? You're constantly learning.
Yes.
Because technology is always changing. I was talking to someone earlier about that, and those emerging technologies are, it's amazing,
you
isn't
should
it?
have that interest. So as soon as you see something new out there, I would say you go try it and then see what's in there and then what it can do. So that having that knowledge will definitely help you as well as help others to when you share those learnings. So that's one thing what I do. And apart from that, uh, I do a lot of hands-on work. So I develop applications, I develop code, and then if there is something which I can automate basically, then I'll try to. I even try to create some games for me which I am interested on. So it keeps going. So yeah, that's how. If you are interested and then if you are eager to do more, then don't hesitate. So this is the right time for you to because it's just evolved, right? So we just crossed only 2 years of this AI journey. So if you start getting the grasp of it, then it's like computer, like how you got into a computer before when it started, right? So those who don't know how to use computer, so they are now struggling to get into it and start using all their apps and everything. So it's a similar thing. So if you try to stay out of it, then you are not going to uh, be part of this and then enjoy the developments, what will be happening around you. So
Hello, I have some exciting news to share with all of my listeners. There is a feature called Fan Mail. What this allows you to do is send me a text message anytime during the episode. There's a link located at the top of the description in each episode, and it says Send Jackie a Text Message. So when you click on that link, you'll be able to send me a message letting me know what you thought about the episode and if you have any ideas for future episode content as well. I look forward to seeing your text messages. Thank you. Wow, that's exciting. So when are you planning to release your book? Is it going to be coming out soon?
It should. I started planning in last year, maybe last summer end, and I was expecting to do it in winter, but then I got pulled into several other things, and then I tried to complete it in spring. Then it's not possible, and finally for this summer I have completed, and now it's waiting for this peer review and things like that. So once it's all complete, maybe it will be out in 2 months, maybe. So
that's good. Wow. So you got it to where you need it. Now it's going through peer review. That's great.
Yeah,
wonderful.
It's a 300-page book, so 350-page book. So it's not easy to get it reviewed quick and then take it to market. It takes its own and to be baked, right? So
that's exciting. Wow. Maybe once you get it released, you can come back on the podcast and kind of talk a little bit through some of the elements. And then we can focus on the AI technology. And by then, it'll be kind of neat to see how things like, because, most companies have Microsoft already built in. So at first when we had Microsoft and where I work at our company, the Copilot was disabled. But now they've got Copilot enabled and I'm seeing it embedded in everything. So it's really neat to see that it's in Outlook and it's in Word and all of that. So it's pretty neat to see that it's there and it's a good assistant. Because we do have an internal tool, but they say that Copilot is safe to use within the organization as well. So it's nice to know that we have options and then we don't have to use an external tool that potentially could have proprietary information that could get out there because we don't want that. So it's great to have Copilot embedded into all of Microsoft now. So that's great.
You can also do it in the work mode so that if you need to know about any policy information, whether what is my insurance plan and things like that, you can ask it. So it will be within your company. So instead of waiting for HR to respond back, and that takes a day, and instead of that, I use it if I need to know some policy information of whether I can share this or not and what. Right. So you can get all this from the work mode. So that,
Oh, wow. That's good to know. Yeah. Wow. I love that.
M365 Copilot, and you can just install it and you can make use of it. So that is integrated with your complete Office 365 ecosystem. So spreadsheets, SharePoints, Excel, Words, and your enterprise data, right? So which you have access to basically. What what it uses is on behalf of access. So, which means whatever access you have, it takes that level of access and then it go find data which is related to you and which is accessible to you.
Oh, wow.
So that's one thing what you can leverage as well.
That's amazing. I love that. Wow. I'll have to pass that on because I know our IT, they check, all the different systems and internally and as things get released out. So, so I'll have to look into that. And Microsoft recently went through an update, I think it was Friday, so yesterday. So I'll have to check into that. Yeah, sure. Definitely. Yeah, that's great. So as you know, my students are mostly instructional design students, but I also have novice instructional designers. I have listeners from all over the world, which I never expected with this podcast. But so are there any tips and advice you can share with those who are currently in the master's program in instructional design at Grand Canyon University that maybe are thinking of utilizing AI technology or they're not sure where to start when it comes to learning and those types of areas?
Yeah, sure. So what I would say is it's better to try AI in all aspects of what you are doing. Because the future for next 2-3 years, it's going to be AI, and you will see a lot of developments around AI, a lot of things happening around AI, and so this is the right time for you to grasp and then learn stuff what's out there and make use of all the tools. There are plenty of tools that's available out there, so make use of all the tools for whatever you're doing. And if you're designing, right? So, for example, I see, I don't remember the name. So there is a website called Napkin AI, I think so. So you just feed in your text content, it kind of create an image for you, design for you or whatnot, right? So there are several tools and things that's available. So make use of all the tools. So whenever you get stuck somewhere and then you're doing some tedious job, like around it takes 5 days or 10 days, then first thing that comes to your mind is whether can I leverage AI? Is there any tools that's readily available which can do all this instead of me doing it manually? So ask this question every time when you get into such a difficult task or anything. So there are plenty of tools available. Only thing is you want to explore something and then figure out which tool fits best for you for all your needs. So make use of those tools, leverage them as and when needed, and or keep yourself updated on all latest AI trends that's happening and new innovation that's coming out. Just watch an eye on it and follow people who are at C-levels on all these big companies, and so that you know what is coming out. So which feature or what development is happening around AI. So follow them and then read what they release. So to keep yourself updated. So that's a recommendation, what I would say at this time.
Right. That's great. Yeah. Just keeping yourself up to date on the technology and knowing what's out there. Right. That's great. Yeah. Because there are definitely, I agree, a lot of tools out there, and it's hard sometimes for us to know what's going to be a good tool and not. But even maybe like you were kind of mentioning, kind of experimenting, right, with those tools and seeing, will it work or will it not? Because you don't know, right, until you try it and see how it's going to work. And I've done that before. I've tried something and I'm like, I don't know, but it seems like the text to image is getting better than what it used to be. It used to be where I had some students do that, and it was so obvious that it was an AI image. I was like, wow, the hands don't look right on the person and the eyes look off. But now it seems like it's much better. I had another student that did that.
Especially the napkin.ai, I love it. So I use that for my books actually. So
okay, to check that out. That's cool. Yeah, I had a student that used Adobe for hers, and she did a presentation, and all of the images were AI generated images, and I was like, wow, they look so realistic. I'm like, that's amazing. It's come a long way. I think they keep improving the technology. And even with the machine learning, right, and the AI generation and how it's able to kind of pick up on your tone and your style of how you're doing things. I've noticed that with ChatGPT, it's gotten better. Copilot's gotten better with that and recognizing that, okay, this is the tone that you want, and I can kind of pick up on that. And then you don't have to tell it so many things or ask it so many things of what you need. It can really pick up on that tone and that voice that you're looking for as well. So it's really great. And having that conversation with the AI and no, this isn't quite right. This is where I wanted to go. And then it can shift and it can say, okay, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Let me change it. So it's kind of neat how it can do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. Thank you, Naveen. Is there any other thoughts or ideas you'd like to share before we wrap up the podcast?
No, exactly. So what I would say is follow me on LinkedIn. So it's NAVINTKR. So that's my LinkedIn handle, and that's my GitHub handle as well. And if you wanted to read my blogs, then I would say AI with Naveen Krishnan. I write on medium.com. And if you wanted just one spot where you wanted to know all about me and what I'm doing is my website. So it's naveenkrishnan.ai. So I have all my podcasts there, all my blogs there. And I have wherever, if there is a talk which I'm being one of my presenter or anything, I'll update there. So you can always follow me there as well.
Great. Wonderful. I'll make sure to put those links in the show notes for everybody. So that way all of my listeners can go there. It's really nice to have those show notes there. So I'll make sure to link that in there. And then when this podcast gets released, then I'll give you the link to that. And then that way you can have that as part of your library and your collection as well. So yeah, sure, it's always good to share that knowledge across the board. So that's great. I'll make sure to do that as well. Yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much, Naveen. I appreciate all your expertise and your insight into AI technology and how it's changing across all industries in healthcare, education, finance, everything. It's touching all industries. So it's great to have you on and to talk about how things are evolving and changing. Appreciate it.
Same here, Jackie. Thank you very much. And,
thank you.
Glad to meet you and your audience. And we'll stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for taking some time to listen to this podcast episode today. Your support means the world to me. If you'd like to help keep the podcast going, you can share it with a friend or colleague, leave a heartfelt review, or offer a monetary contribution. Every act of support, big or small, makes a difference, and I'm truly thankful for you.